the introduction lick. So for the intro, basically it's all in this G shape. Keep holding this G shape. Now that's why you fret the G chord like that. So when you go to the C, like here, he's putting, rather than your normal C like that, he's putting in a G in the bass, okay? That note there. And then he's using your pinky where you would usually use your ring finger. So rather than that, it's the same chord, but the low bass note has a G there. And you can see now you can move quickly between C and a G. So when you move between that G and that C, keep that finger always fretted. It's like a pivot. It allows you to change quicker. Basically, now you use your pinky finger as the pivot between the G and the F6. See? Keep that always on the fret. Now you have to use your thumb to fret the first fret 6th string for the F6. You could go like that, but he would use that. Most fingerstyle players would use their thumb for an F just because it gives you flexibility down here. Whereas if you're going like that, it just basically takes longer to change. It takes longer to get to that. And sometimes you want to be able to hammer on the G string in an F chord. Like that. And you can't do that like this. I arpeggiate them. Instead of just plucking, I go like that. So. Back to the 3rd fret for the 1st string. Pluck that twice, then open, same strings, but nothing. And that's when you change your fretting hand, getting ready for a C position. All the time, that's staying there. Never moved. Now you don't have to use the thumb. You could use that finger. I'll use the thumb. 2nd fret as a little lead-in to the final G chord. This is the hardest bit of the entire song, is this next little section, these first 2 bars of the fast section. So I'm going to spend more time on this because this is the hardest bit and the thing that gave me the most trouble. So what you're doing is playing this. And the key to playing that is all about when you change your left hand, the chord position. So that's the only opportunity you get for the transition period where you're not fretting a chord, but you're still fretting that note. And then you have to be fretting the F6 chord. So no fret, transition, have to be on the F6 then. So you're striking up the G string with your index finger. The key thing in practicing is to isolate these tricky bits, right? So basically I would just play that bit over and over. Make a loop out of it. Just over and over. Banjo roll thing that coming up next on the C. So use these 3 fingers again. You can always use your index to strum down instead of the thumb. So instead of this, you can use that finger too. So I use it just this one time in the song. So you move from 7 to 3 while your thumb is playing that D string. Actually use your pinky there and then use your first finger, okay, when you're back here on the 3rd fret. Now optional is to put an extra little upstroke with your first finger there. Like that. Dun, dun. Instead of like that, you can go. I kind of like doing it. Try and like put that, like some swing into it. D is implied by playing with your thumb, 2nd fret here, and then middle finger there on the 2nd fret. And then thumb open. So that's the D, back to G. It's quick, but it implies that without having to do all that, it just sort of gives that feeling. Back to G. Doesn't actually do that in the recording, but he's done it in another version, and it's a cool little way to like break up the rhythm and like anticipate the next thing. So basically you're just throwing in a C where there's no C for a tiny bit, and then you're back to the G again. So rather than that, thumb keeps doing that, but you got to squeeze in the roll in between there. You don't need to do the roll, you can leave that out and just go. The only reason you would use this G is if you really want to be fretting the B string with your ring finger, which is a good sound. And you want to have that as well on your C. And then A minor. It's very Oasis-y. This is swing. Okay, so remember to do that through the whole thing. I mean, you don't have to, but when he plays it really fast, you can't even notice it, because the faster you play, the less time there is to sort of swing those notes. And all swinging is like delaying. That thing stays the same time, but the other notes get delayed a bit.